Hi, and welcome back to another Castles E3 coverage. It is 4 a.m. in the morning, and it's very cold. And joining me is Pete, Tam, and Lvaneede. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Exclusive to Xbox One and Windows 10.
How many times did that pop up in the conference? God, they needed to make sure everyone knew.
What was it? Xbox everywhere? Anywhere?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Play anywhere.
Yeah, play anywhere.
I mean, to be fair, that is actually really great by Xbox to be doing that. Going forward with basically every game, isn't it? I'm pretty sure every game
Pretty
is coming.
much.
Yeah,
Because it's their whole gaming beyond generations chic they were talking about at the end.
Anyway, one thing we knew, I guess we should just, before we get into all the games, we'll touch on both of the consoles. So we knew coming into this that there were two consoles, or at least it was heavily rumored anyway. So we've got the slimmer one, the Xbox One S. They showed that one off first. I didn't actually pay too much attention to if it had any new features. I don't think it really does. It's just more smaller, slimmer, sleeker. You know, it's
Pretty
just
much.
Yeah,
You can do 4K, can't it?
well, no, they mentioned something about HDR, but didn't really
HDR.
explain it.
Yeah. It's not 4K, no.
Not 4K? Okay.
I don't think so anyway.
Can't the current Xbox One do HDR?
Well, I don't know, but that's just one thing they mentioned.
Yeah, but yeah, I wasn't really expecting too much from it. But I mean, the price point is nice, I guess, because that's for US that is $100 cheaper than the PS4, right?
Yep.
$299, so $300.
It'll probably be still $399 here at least.
And I can see it appealing to a lot of people, but if all those people also hear about the Scorpio, they may hold off, like I will be doing. And Pete had a bit of a laugh that it's still called Scorpio, but I think this is where gaming needs to go, and it makes too much sense not to bring out the most powerful console you can. There's no point just them sitting on the Xbox One they have and being satisfied with that. And yeah, we'll just develop games that can work on this and only that. I think it's a good step forward. And
I think Microsoft have the advantage in this field just because they do have Windows 10.
they do, yeah.
If you look at previous generations, they really moved away from having their games on PC. They kind of dropped it during the 360 era, and now they're all going all in with Windows 10. And I think this is why, so that they can go between Well, that's their whole point. They don't want console generations anymore. They're going the Apple route of upgrade, so they can say, "Oh, look, your PC just upgrades, your console's is the same." And I think they're gonna sell their Xbox Ones for those people that don't want to get into buying gaming PCs, because you don't have to set anything up. You just go buy the box, go start playing games.
Would you be interested in buying a console that's possibly 4 times more powerful? I didn't really catch all the little specs of it. I don't know too much about that. Maybe Lvaneede can help me out there. Does it sound pretty powerful?
It does sound pretty powerful. They mentioned it's going to have 8 cores, and they've mentioned some other really fast-sounding specifications. And they also said that no gamer gets left behind or something, so everything will still work on the older consoles. It will be interesting to see how that works, but the consoles these days are basically a PC anyway, so they can probably work out some sort of settings in the games to scale between the different hardware.
Yeah, that's interesting. I really wonder how they're actually doing that. Doesn't sound possible, but yeah, no, I'm pretty excited for it. I'll wait and see, but I think this is Xbox sort of declaring war on Sony, because that everyone had heard about PS4K, the Neo, and Scorpio we haven't really known about for too long at all. But now we sort of know almost everything about Scorpio, and I can't believe that after E3 ends, we still will know nothing about NX.
Well, and then Sony said that they're not going to be showing the Neo, so maybe
Yeah.
they might have to mention it now that Scorpio is official.
Yeah, that's yeah, it's crazy.
Well,
It's crazy.
that's Sony style though. They always react to what their competitors do.
They do.
Like they did a couple of years ago when they did the whole mic drop thing of you can play your games.
This is how we share games.
Yeah, it's not always online.
I think that just about covers the consoles, yeah. Yeah, we didn't get a price point for Scorpio, but it will come in 2017. And the Xbox
Holiday
One,
in 2017.
yeah, sorry, Holiday 2017. And Xbox One S will come this year, right?
Yep.
Do
August,
we
I
get a
think.
month?
Yeah,
August.
it's
So
quite soon.
that is really soon, yeah. Okay, so they start off with Gears 4. I've played a fair amount of the Gears games. I sat there and sort of enjoyed it, but it's just Gears. I don't think they really needed to have the lengthy gameplay demo they had. They could have shared some of that time with some of the other games, which I thought should have deserved more recore. But Gears 4, Lvaneede, I think you were enjoying what you saw of it anyway.
Yeah, because when I bought my 360 years ago, it came with the first Gears of War, and I didn't like it, but the new one actually impressed me quite a bit, and I will definitely consider buying it.
Yeah, they have come a fair way since the first one. The first one was very, very clunky. Didn't even look very nice either. And playing Ultimate Edition recently on Xbox One, they completely improved that game. And yeah, that was an enjoyable experience. Gears 4 is on the same engine, so yeah, it should be pretty good. Speaking of Gears, Killer Instinct, which is still around. What are they in season 2 of Killer Instinct? Is that what they call it? Or
Season 3.
Season 3, okay. Yep. Whatever that means. Killer Instinct is getting General Ram as a character, the most painful boss fight, but he does look pretty cool in Killer Instinct, fits right in. So, yeah, that's something for the Killer Instinct players. I don't think any of us here play Killer Instinct. Yes, no?
No.
Are we gonna have a similar case to Bethesda when we're like we don't play any of these games?
No, because I play
And
most
they
of
get
these
called
games.
out about it.
All right, moving on. Horizon 3, Forza Horizon 3, I should say, is set in Australia. That
Australia,
actually,
That
mate.
was awesome.
that
Go
clearly,
to the Great Ocean Road.
I mean,
Of
it's
race,
obviously
yeah.
going to appeal to us being Australians, but I think the game actually looks really good as well. I enjoyed what I played of Forza Horizon 2, so I think I'll definitely be picking up Horizon 3, and I don't pick up many racing games at all. I'm not too into the serious ones. I just like the fun ones where I especially liked Burnout games, of course, but yeah, Horizon 3, that'll give me my racing fix. Are you guys going to pick it up at all?
I would have had an
Okay.
Xbox. It looks great.
All right. Yeah,
Um,
so hang on, that is on PC as well, though, right?
Yeah.
Horizon.
Yeah, Windows 10. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
tempted to pick it up on that. My PC would be able to run it.
Yeah, I don't play a whole lot of racing games, but I do like the idea of the Forza Horizon games because they're more arcade and fun, less kind of serious.
Yeah,
And because it's set here, that is extra appeal. So
it does look very good. It looks better than The Crew. Oh, I didn't play The Crew. Pete, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, no, it looks better than the Crew.
Yeah,
Definitely.
right. Okay. Recore. Didn't really get much on this, but it does look nice. I think as we speak, as we're recording this, there is Recore gameplay over on YouTube, so I'll be catching up on that later. I was hoping for Recore to be as good as I hoped it would be, but at the same time, I did expect it to not be as big as I hoped it to be. So it does sort of seem to be, at this stage, one of those smaller downloadable titles might be about $50.
Yeah.
I don't know about that actually. I think we haven't seen enough of it yet.
I
If
suppose.
something like Knack was a full release, you can't really pigeonhole things.
True, but something like Knack shouldn't have been a full release. But anyway, Final Fantasy 15, Square are showing Final Fantasy 15 over 4 days of stream, so I don't know why they had to slot it into Sony's conference as well, but I guess that's because they're not having their conference. But it didn't look all that flash to me. I thought it looked a bit clunky, and I didn't like the boss fight at all.
Yeah, I don't think it was a very good demo.
I think that's the
No.
issue. They chose a very poor part of the game to show off, just because it was kind of unclear what the hell was going on for most of it. When the player character was just dodging randomly, I didn't really know what was going on until after the fact. When it's like, oh, it's been attacked from the other side. The whole point is just you're supposed to dodge for a minute or two. I think it's a bit, yeah, it was a terrible demo.
And Tammy pointed out to me that this was directed by the same person that directed Type 0.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I don't have high hopes for the game. I'm worried about it. The Division. That was just a sort of quick note that the Underground, I don't think we had that previously announced. Had we heard anything about Underground?
I don't think
No,
so.
was that DLC or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it does seem to be DLC. It's coming first to Xbox One, but I didn't really catch what it was about. It was just gone like that. So,
I think they just showed it because I think it's first on Xbox One or something.
new Xbox One features. I forgot to note these down, what they were, but just off the top of my head, we got clubs, which is just communities on PS4. We got arenas for setting up tournaments and things, I guess.
Yeah,
And was the other thing where you could just sort of promote yourself looking for other players?
pretty
Yeah,
much
there
just
was
looking for groups.
Yeah.
Like communities
Kinda
on
like the-
PS4.
Pretty much what happens in MMOs when you're looking for groups to do stuff. So I guess looking for players to go play co-op on something or that sort of thing.
So they're all pretty welcome features. I think we also got a few other little things like Cortana was mentioned, of course, which we knew we were getting, and background music. So, yeah. Minecraft. Oh, God. I wish this didn't happen, but it happened.
Took up like
Mine-
20 minutes too.
Like I said in the chat, I think those two should be in some sort of ABC kids TV show. This is friendly time or whatever. Didn't they say this? Wasn't it called like friendly something?
The friendliest update, I think they said.
Yeah, it's the friendly update. And I just
Yeah.
love at the end when they're like, "Oh, it's time for us to go now."
Let's get
let's
outta here.
leave now. Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. It's like you should have said that 20 minutes ago. And
Yeah,
my
it
favorite.
was very
My
cringeworthy.
My favorite part was when they were like, "Oh, look, it's John Carmack," and he just stands up with an Oculus Rift on his head. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing with these guys now." And then like a minute later, they're like, "Oh, bye, John," and he's like, "Okay, thanks, guys." And he just sits down again, and it goes dark.
Yeah.
They got him to go to the conference just to do that. It's like, why?
Minecraft has been it's been around how long now? I just don't think it needed the stage time that it got at all. The reason it did get the stage time was to announce Minecraft Realms, which basically means you have crossplay between Xbox One, Windows 10, iOS, Android. Am I missing one? I think that's it. So, and actually, just touching on crossplay, Microsoft did say something along the lines of with willing third parties or something like that. So, you wonder if that's just asking Sony, "Hey, are you actually interested?" Or if it's saying, or if it's saying, "Yeah, we would, but they're not interested." So,
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay, moving on. We've still got a fair bit to go through. We got a quick little video of colorful custom controllers. They all look really nice. So we didn't actually get any details on how we can get those, though, did we?
It just said Xbox.com, so they might update the website to say.
Yeah, it'll probably on orders through the store, I assume.
The way the video was going, it did make it seem like you could customize it, make it however you wanted, but then they sort of had these names for each of the different colors that they had come up with as well. So there might be some preset ones that you can buy, and then or you could just customize your own. But yeah, I guess we'll find out more about that later. We saw a little bit of Inside. We actually saw almost nothing at all of Inside. That's from the developers of Limbo, and Tam enjoyed the little bit that he said about this being the best game he's ever played. But
Yeah,
he didn't actually show us the game. But
no, I
best game
don't
he's
know
ever
what. Can you actually tell me what the game's about? No one can from what they showed. And he's like, oh, this is one of the best games I've ever played. It's like, okay, then can you like tell us about the game? Like, what do you do in the game? What's the game about? He's like, no. It's like, just look at this really vague trailer, and it's like, oh, it's the best game I've played. Moving on now. Have you seen this other game?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that same guy did roll the indie montage as well. Yeah, talk about indies on Xbox. So I saw Cuphead in there. I saw Below. I didn't actually recognize too many of the other games, so maybe they're
Ukulele was in there.
recent announcements. Ukulele.
Yeah,
was in
Ukulele
there.
was there. Bloodstained was there.
Oh yeah. But maybe there were some new announcements in there. I'm not sure. The next game, I will never touch because it will give me nightmares, and it just seems like the weirdest game ever. But at the same time, I'm really curious of what it's about and how it plays. We Happy Few. I don't think we'd gotten too much on this game in the past, but tonight we got a nice little portion of the game where it seemed like it was a walking simulator, and then suddenly things got really intense and there was combat in there. So yeah, I don't know, what do you guys think about the game?
It's very creepy, like with those drugs, and then they were hitting the thing, and then it turns into some rat or whatever it was. It's kind of gross.
So basically, they all take these pills called joy, and if they're not taking their joy, then they start seeing things probably the way they actually are.
Yeah.
And then and what did they call him when they,
A
sounded
downer.
alive? A downer.
You're a downer.
You're a downer. Oh, gee. No, it looked really interesting actually.
Especially at the very start when you had the choice of taking the pill or not. So I assume if you choose to take the pill, it changes what happens in the game.
Yeah,
To
so
that
there's
point.
choice involved. Yeah. No, I like that. Moving on, Gwent is just a card game for The Witcher.
But
Not
it's
much.
It's a lot different to all the other card games we've seen because they actually showed the card game in the trailer.
Yes, they actually showed cards in this trailer, so that's something going for them. But
and I must say, it was one of the best. It was one of the best presented card games I've seen for a while.
I just don't really like card games.
yeah, I don't play too many either. And now that there seems to be just this big rush of franchises trying to get in on the success of Hearthstone, and
But
I just wonder if they're gonna just flood it and ruin it.
I must say, at least Gwent is radically different to Hearthstone, because the Elder Scrolls Legend looks very much like Hearthstone with just a slight tinkering here and there on how some of the game board mechanics work. Whereas this seems radically different, so might be interesting to play around with.
Tekken 7, we got a nice trailer for that. Actually looked pretty good, but I mean, I guess time will tell with that one. Tekken 7, I feel like we've at least heard about it for quite a while now. And
It's been out in the arcades in Japan and probably in the
oh,
West.
okay, all right, that explains it. Dead Rising 4. We didn't get much of a glimpse of this. They did it to Jingle Bells, and the whole thing seems to be Christmas themed. So, Frank West is doing his Christmas shopping, and then just decides to take on zombies instead. Well, I don't know how the story goes, but yeah, it's good to see Frank West back. People were wondering if it was going to just be like a remake or a reimagining of the first Dead Rising, but I don't think it is at this stage. It doesn't look like it. You guys Dead Rising fans at all?
No, I've never played it either.
Same here.
We're going well. Scalebound. Scalebound. I know Tam will get excited for this one. You have to, Tam, because it's from Platinum Games, and I think it actually looks quite good. It really showed up Final Fantasy 15, in my opinion, in terms of the boss fight and the demo. It just had a lot more going on, a lot more to it. The co-op I do wonder about, because I feel like earlier times that we saw Scalebound, they did seem to have performance issues with the frame rate, and now they're suddenly able to do co-op. So I wonder if they're making sacrifices in the game's performance just so that they can have co-op, which would not be a good decision.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works out, because I was getting a lot of Monster Hunter vibes from it, actually. In some other ways.
Yeah, that's a good point. And we haven't really seen much of that on home console.
I guess Xenoblade Chronicles X tried to do a bit of that in the online multiplayer, but I don't know how many people actually used it for that. I never went on multiplayer for it.
Sea of Thieves. I wasn't expecting to see this one because I thought, it's Rare. Rare might just sort of go into hiding until their game is ready, but they have come a fair way since we last saw Sea of Thieves, because I didn't like it last time we saw it. I thought, this looks trash.
It looked absolutely terrible last time.
Yeah, but with a bit of a marketing ploy with Let's Players and whatnot, they have really sort of made the game come alive a lot more. And yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on it, because it just looks so much fun, having pirate ship battles and just getting your mates together. And yeah, I don't know. I think it could be a lot of fun.
I'm wondering how deep it can be though. Like, once you battle like a couple times, where's the longevity in that? I don't know. If there's a lot to do in that world, it'll be interesting. But
That's a fair point. Yeah.
it didn't look like there was a lot to do.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, it looks fun, but I don't know how much I'd really want to play it.
Well, it's like the town they were in to begin with. It looked pretty empty.
Yeah.
There wasn't much there, and then they just went on the open sea. Like, is there actual goals? I'm sure there is. So
Yeah, I guess we'll just
if there's actually goals and quests and things to achieve, then it could work out really well. But if it's just mess around in a open world environment as a pirate, it could get quite boring.
State of Decay 2. I didn't pick that this was State of Decay because I didn't play the first one. I just saw zombies, and I mean, it looked okay enough, I guess. But I mean, zombies. Come on, how many zombie games do we need? Dead Rising 4 is sort of just that niche of arcade nonsense zombie game, which I can enjoy. But yes, State of Decay, nah. I think I'll give it a miss.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering why they were showing another zombie game so soon after Dead Rising.
Well, I don't really know much about State of Decay, but I assume it's more multiplayer based co-op than Dead Rising. Does Dead Rising have co-op, or is it more just a single player game?
Single player. Tam, I think you're pretty interested in this one.
I am, since I like my real-time strategy games. I think it'll be good, and it's good to hear that it's on Windows 10, like all the other Microsoft games now. So I'll definitely give that a try. I thought the trailer was quite interesting, actually.
Yeah, trailer was quite good. Lvaneede, you love your Halo, but you couldn't see yourself getting into this?
Well, I do really like Halo, so I would maybe take a closer look at it, but I'm not really a big fan of RTS games, so I don't really know yet, but I'm interested.
It may be your entry point into RTS games. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a chance. I did like some older RTS games on PC, so it could work.
Yeah. And that's it, guys. I don't think I missed any, unless I didn't write it down, but that was all the games we got from Microsoft's conference. Overall, pretty solid. Blows away EA and Bethesda.
Yeah.
By far.
But I guess we still have to see what Ubisoft and Sony have for us, because if I remember correctly, both Ubisoft and Sony were the two strongest ones last year. So Sony especially, but Ubisoft put in a good show too. So I don't know. Do you guys think Microsoft have done enough? Was there anything else you were hoping to see?
I think they pretty much hit all the points that I wanted them to hit. It was pretty good. It was just that Minecraft bit in the middle that really slowed things down. Ugh.
Yeah. Take away the Minecraft bit, and that's knocked out of the park.
Yeah.
It's interesting they didn't show any Crackdown 3 though, aside from at the very end. In the sizzle reel, they did there was a logo for Crackdown 3, but they never actually mentioned it at all.
So that game's just not ready. So that must be a fair way off. And Scalebound actually looks closer than we've been led to believe. When at the very start of this year, we got it delayed to 2017, and then everyone's like, "Oh, Jesus, this game's not coming anytime soon." So, but I think it may actually be early 2017.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
By the look of it, it looks like it looks as to the same level as something like Final Fantasy 15, which comes out soon.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 is the one that was missing.
Yep.
I can't really think of any others. I was sort of hoping, it was just wishful thinking, I wish it every year that we got another Rare revival. They could just pick any one of them. Any one of them will do. And they could have even just flicked it off to another developer like they did with the Killer Instinct series. So
at least they didn't taunt any fans this time like they did with the Project Spark thing a couple of years ago.
Oh god, and
They
Phil
showed
Spencer
Conqueror.
always wearing Battletoads shirts as well. So
I think it is really Sony's conference to lose, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait and see what Sony have in store for us. Ubisoft are coming up next because we're skipping PC gaming shows so that we could record this discussion. We may catch up on it later, but we're not expecting too much from the PC gaming show because last year was a bit of a disaster. So
I bet you, Dave, that we will see Battlefield 1 in Sony's conference.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
And Call of Duty.
Yep.
And maybe Titanfall.
Oh no.
Because it is cross-platform now, isn't it?
No, we'll get Watch Dogs 2 in both Ubisoft and Sony's.
Oh yeah, we didn't have any Watch Dogs in Xbox. Or For Honor. They showed For Honor in the sizzle reel. But...
Yeah. Oh well, they're saving that for Ubi, I guess. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining in, and I know Pete's gonna stay up. Tam might have a bit of a rest. Lvaneede?
It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning here, so I'm going to be going to bed.
Yep, fair enough. Or you go to bed. But we will soldier on and we'll keep these discussions going. I'll just start pinching people from the Discord chat, whoever's still online at this ungodly time. But yeah.
I think everyone's gone now, I think.
Thank you for listening anyway, and yeah, stay tuned for more.